Have you ever tried to take a photo in a dark room, and the second you hit the button, your iPhone flash just completely obliterates the moment? Yeah, you're not alone. But what if I told you that with a couple of super simple tricks, you could turn that harsh little light into a soft, flattering, professional quality tool? Okay, let's dive in and completely change how you take photos with your phone. So let's start with the big question, the one we've all muttered to ourselves. You line up this perfect shot, everything looks great, but the moment that flash goes off, the photo just looks flat. Kind of amateurish and just wrong. We've all been there, right? Staring at a picture that looks absolutely nothing like the beautiful scene we just saw with our own eyes.
So what's actually going wrong here? Well, the first major issue is the shadows. That direct, intense blast of light from your phone's flash, it creates these deep, sharp, and honestly super unflattering shadows right behind your subject. It adds this kind of hard-edged drama you really didn't ask for and just makes the whole image feel stark and unnatural.
And the second problem is just as bad, if not worse. That powerful little light hits your subject with so much intensity that it pretty much erases all the subtle details. Skin can look pale and shiny, colors get totally washed out, and you end up with these blown-out highlights. You know, where parts of the image are just pure, detail-free white. It's basically the opposite of what makes a photo look good. But here is the really good news. Fixing all of this is surprisingly simple once you understand one single core principle. So before we get to the cool hacks, we need to talk about the secret weapon that all professional photographers know and love: soft light.
The flash on your phone. It's the perfect example of what we call hard light. I mean, just look at how tiny that little LED is. In photography, it's a fundamental rule. The smaller and more direct your light source is compared to your subject, the harder the light is going to be. And this is the source of all our problems. A tiny light creating sharp, ugly shadows.
Now on the flip side, we have soft light. This comes from a big, diffused light source. So think about the light coming through a huge window on an overcast day. It just seems to wrap around your subject, creating these gentle, feathered shadows and really beautiful, smooth tones. The key takeaway is simple. To get soft light, you need a big light source. So here it is, laid out side by side. This is the aha moment. On the left, we've got the problem, that small, direct light source creating those sharp, amateur-looking shadows. And over on the right, that's our goal, a large, diffused source creating soft, professional-looking light. So the entire secret, the whole game, is just figuring out how to turn our tiny phone flash into that large light source. And that, my friends, brings us to the really fun part. Let's get into the practical hacks. And you don't need any expensive, fancy equipment. In fact, your entire toolkit for transforming your flash is probably sitting around your house right now. Okay, the first technique is called a bounce, and it's absolutely brilliant. Instead of pointing that tiny flash right at your subject's face, find a nearby white or neutral-colored wall or even the ceiling. Then, just angle your phone to bounce the flash off of that surface. What you've just done is genius. You've literally turned that entire wall into your new, massive, soft light source. The light that finally hits your subject will be incredibly gentle and flattering. Now, the second hack is diffusion. What if you can't bounce the light? No problem. You can just diffuse it right at the source. The goal here is to simply make the light source itself appear bigger. All you need to do is place a semi-transparent material over the flash. I'm talking a single layer of a tissue, a piece of a white plastic bag, or even some baking paper. This scatters the light, softening it before it even has a chance to hit your subject.
So you might be wondering, do these little household hacks actually make a difference? Oh, absolutely. This is where you see the real power of understanding light. Let's take a look at the payoff, because seeing is believing.
I mean, the difference is just night and day. For a portrait, you go from those harsh shadows and shiny, washed-out skin to beautifully smooth skin and soft, well-defined features. Trying to get a good food photo, you lose that nasty, unappetizing glare, and instead you get rich textures and appealing colors. Even for a simple object, you go from losing all the detail to capturing its true shape and form. It is a total game changer.
So, the next time you're in a dimly lit room, don't just settle for a bad photo. Remember the secret. Make your light source bigger, bounce it, diffuse it. You now have the knowledge to control light and create some amazing images with the phone that's already in your pocket. So the only question left is, what will you create with it?